Good morning. It is a little bit after 6 o'clock in the morning, and we are having a heavenly rain. I don't know if you can hear it. Should be kind of making a sizzling noise in the underground of my video here. We needed it. I don't know if you can see the rain or not. It's very nice. I had a little bit of thunder earlier with it, but uh, other than waking me up, which is fine because I was already halfway awake, I had to come out to see the rain. You know, it's just so gorgeous and it feels so cool. It's finally as cool outside as it is inside for a little while. And I brought out my bones. The bones. It was gifted to me from a friend. A lot of people are gifting the bones pipe. I think that's kind of neat that everyone wants everyone to have a bones. If you haven't got a boner yet, you should get a boner. There we go. In it, I have Commodore. Sillems, Sillems, I think. Not Salems, but Sillems. Commodore. And although I don't usually give reviews, I guess this is kind of review. Commodore is actually a flake, but it breaks so easily that it isn't hard to break up. Some flakes are very tough to break up, but the Commodore, it comes apart very easily. I think that has to do with the fact that it has the burley in it, but that's just in my ignorant opinion, of course. I like this. This is a very strong tobacco. If people are wanting something very mild taste and tastes like something else, this is not the tobacco. This tastes just like tobacco. It has a burley, but the first taste you taste is those smooth Virginias. I mean, that's the first thing that'll hit you. And then there's this little smoky flavor that comes across from your Latakia. And that comes across really nicely. It's not so overpowering. And then there's this other little spicy flavor, almost it kind of has that perfumey taste like a pomegranate has. You know how it has a bit of a perfumey taste. This has just a little bit of a hint of a perfume behind it. And normally I'm not fond of anything with a overtone of flavor, but this, I'd say between the burley and the Virginias, that little bit of Latia coming across, it really does hold its flavor, and that's kind of a nice thing that, for me, smoking a bowl. Especially early in the morning, this is just really nice. It complements coffee with a little bit of White Russian in it. I use those pre-manufactured drinks that are creamy drinks like Mudslide and White Russian and stuff like that. I think Chi-Chi's makes it as a coffee creamer because I'm not sure. I think that if you put it in your hot coffee anyway, from what I understood, anything over 160 degrees or so, which is usually coffee coming out of a coffee pot, will kill the alcohol. At least that's my theory. I just like the flavors of them better than I do the creamers. I don't like the heavy, sugary, sweet drink, and so when you put that into this, it just kind of mellows it out. Just an excuse for drinking early. You know. 5 o'clock somewhere in the world. It might be 5 a.m., it might be 5 p.m., it doesn't matter. It's kind of like with a pipe. You know, if you feel like it's time to smoke a pipe, then you smoke a pipe. If you feel like it's time for a cup of coffee, then you smoke a cup of coffee. Well, drink a cup of coffee. I enjoyed the flavor. I love sitting on my front porch. And this rain has just got this world so cool. It's so nice. I've been doing a lot of videos from my back deck. And the reason I haven't been sitting on my front porch is really kind of a sad one. Aside from the fact that my porch needs to be worked on. The reason I don't sit on my front porch anymore is because, I live close to downtown. I live at 6th and Osage, and downtown is 4th and Delaware and Osage and stuff. So it's just a few blocks over, a few blocks down that way. And we had a building, an old building here that was ran by the Sisters of Charity and the nuns at St. Mary's they called it Welcome Central, and it was a homeless shelter. Basically, it was through the winter time, and it was really close to the community center. Well, there again, I'm only 6 blocks from the community center and 4 blocks that way, so I'm close to the community center. They moved the Welcome Central, the homeless shelter, half a block down, just to the end of the corner, and a block and a half that way. So now, anytime I sit on my front porch, it's just, I can't get my privacy back now. I sit on my front porch, and you can see how close I'm not real close to the street, but the street's right there. And people are always, the homeless that don't have cars, they walk by, and they see me and friends or just me sitting on the front porch, and they stop to say, well, some of them know me from the community center because they come down there for their showers. So they feel like they already have a little bit of a friendship going, or an acquaintance going. So they don't feel like they just come right in my steps, right up my door, to my front door. If I've gone in because I don't want to be bothered by them and I've gone in, they will come right up to my front door and knock on my front door. And the problem is I know a lot of these because, like I say, they come and get showers, and some of them are homeless for various reasons, and a lot of the reasons are alcohol and drug abuse. So the last thing I want is for someone to come on my front porch and look in my house, and so I can't sit on my front porch. They come by, and if they don't know me, they come by and they say things like, I just need some gasoline. I just need a little bit of money for gasoline. I've got my car and my kids right down the street, and if you give me a couple dollars, I'll go get some gas for it. Well, I have a gas can. So I say, oh, hold on a minute. I'll get my gas can, and we will run down to your car, and we'll put a couple gallons in. Well, that's not what they wanted, and they sure start backtracking and coming up with a new story. Or they need food. And by my front door, I have a box that has 2 or 3 little individual bags in it, grocery sacks, and in it has spaghetti sauce and spaghetti with the meat in the sauce, and jars and stuff, things that you don't have to have can openers for, but you do have to cook the spaghetti, I guess. But whenever they come up and they say, well, they just need money for food, I hand them a sack, or I give them a sack, give them an opportunity for a sack, let's put it that way. Inside, they all look inside, and they all say, oh no, and they come up with different reasons. Oh, I'm diabetic, or it's amazing the reasons they come up with not to take the food. And on the food is marked, not for sale, donation. A couple of times I have had people that have taken a sack of food, and then as I'm leaving, I'll check at the ends of my block and stuff, and sure enough, they've set that down. They didn't want to say, no, I just want the money. They go ahead and take the sack of food, and then they go down the street and they set it down. Or else, well, that's been what's happened so far this year, because I've given out 2 sacks this year, and both of them were found down at the end of the street here. But in a way, it's kind of neat because I always keep that there, and we have a group of adults that have a little bit of a mental deficiency, and our church, which is right up here at the corner, it has every couple of months, like maybe every 4 months, I think it is, they take that group of young adults and stuff around in a group and they come house to house asking for donations of food and stuff. And they all know that now they've learned over the years, because I've been here in this house for 12 years, they they know that this house always, gives them some stuff. And so they just line up with their sacks like trick-or-treaters, like adult trick-or-treaters, and they're just as thrilled as can be. And they all want something, in their sack. And I always have enough that each of them has, I'm able to give them plenty. And they know that, and I'm so close to it. So the people that do the group that leads them around, leads them on the opposite direction from my house, because my house is the last one they hit before they get to the church. And, and so even if some of them haven't gotten anything, when they leave here, they've all got something. And so that's kind of a reason that they come back to my house. And that's just really kind of cute. I enjoy them. They all call me Auntie. Actually, mostly it's Auntie, but I think that's more the... I think Auntie is too much of a real aunt, and Auntie is more of a title given, so I don't mind if they call me their aunt. But for all the little bit that we are able to do individually for people, there is so much that still needs to be done, and I'm only one person. Today, since I have so much time off, I've volunteered down at the Welcome Central, and I leave in a little while. They have to leave the shelter by 9 o'clock, so I'm going to be going in at 9 o'clock to do the laundry. And I don't mind doing that. It's a few steps to the basement and back up here at the new place. Now, they got a new building that they're trying to get, but, the amount of money they have to come up with to go to a new building is just a little hard to get. We are still a small town, and some places give that. There's a lot of people in Leavenworth that just don't want that. They don't want that Welcome Central at all in their town. They don't see any reason. They're usually the ones that are not actually coming in contact with them. People that don't come in contact with the homeless are able to say, no, it's not a needed facility. Those that come in contact with them see the need for the facility. So whenever I have someone around that's saying that, I know that they have been, if people are saying there's no need for this, then they don't have their eyes open. And sometimes I make it my job to open their eyes, and I'll go over and give them the lecture. Can you imagine me giving a lecture? Especially if it's something I'm passionate about. And I know you guys have heard me doing my fast talk, but whenever I'm having a one-on-one conversation with somebody and I'm passionate about something, it seems like I talk very quickly. It's just like when they come to the community center and they say, well, tell me about this building. I can tell them about the building so quickly and so much about it in such a short amount of time, because I know they only have an attention span of that big while they're standing in front of me. So I poke as much information into that little bit of time that they are going to really listen to me. And then after about 5 minutes of talking to them, I notice that their eyes kind of glaze over, and they're no longer paying attention. Ooh, it's really getting dark out there. My. When are we going to have some more thunder and stuff? I love lightning and thunder. But I really would like for it just to keep up this steady, nice rain for 3 or 4 hours. We could sure use the rain. The farmers are crying for the rain. We had a whole lot of rain that washed out a lot of the crops, and then we finally get the crops in. The crops start coming up, and then we get this unbelievable heat. We've never had this warm and this humidity this early in the year, and they were forecasting a really bad summer, but I think it's kind of going beyond what they thought it would as far as the heat and the continual sun. I say it's been a week since we had rain, so it's nice to have rain. A lot of times here in Kansas, we're like every place else. When you get a little bit of rain, it comes in the middle of the afternoon. It hits the hottest earth available and all the concrete around, and then it just right up into steam. No relief, no water in the plants to speak of. The grass, it just. Oh, and I heard a really neat thing about cutting grass. I'm going on and on for nothing, aren't I? I heard a really neat thing about grass. You cut your grass, and then they start telling you as it gets hotter, don't cut it. I don't think I'm ever going to cut it because, according to the guy that was on the TV talking about this, he said that the longer grass shades itself and shades the earth. So why would we ever cut our grass in the summertime? Why wouldn't we let it grow to 2 or 3 feet high so it could shade the earth? However, here in Kansas, or here in Leavenworth anyway, they had come out with a ruler and measure your yard every once in a while. Not mine, not anybody who takes care of the yard, but the people that don't take care of the yard, honest to gosh, they come out there with a ruler and measure how long that is. And if it's over like 9 inches, you get a little citation, and it can cost you money. Now, it seems to me if you don't have enough money to cut your yard, then you're not going to have enough money to pay the ticket, you know? So, why do it? Why spend the man hours to go out and measure people's yard? You know, it's just another one of those little bureaucratic things that burns my ash. Because, what right does any city, state, or anything like that have the right to tell you what you can do on your property? However, you guys know that I lean toward libertarian tendencies, so that's probably just a little bit of libertarian in me. Well, I'm going to quit talking, and I'm just going to sit here and enjoy my rain. This is what I talk about, how I like a pipe that fits in my hand. When I smoke a pipe, most of the time, I'm holding it like this. I got a friend that holds his like a cigar, which seems kind of unhandy to me, but that's because I'm used to smoking a pipe, with it in my hand. Well, you guys enjoy your morning too. Happy, happy. Joy, joy. You know I'm watching you. I really am. I'm watching all of you. You'd be amazed at the things I see.